What's up guys? Welcome to my channel. My name is Hayley and I am currently a second semester nursing student. I'm actually almost halfway done with my associate's degree, and so to enter the YouTube community I wanted to do my first video on a little tip video for you guys for anyone who is entering nursing school. These are some things that are not by any means required, but some things that I think were really beneficial for helping me through this semester, and just like things that made studying and doing other stuff a lot easier and a lot more fun. Okay, so to start off this video, this first item is a book that was actually required for my program, but it might not be for other programs, I'm not really sure. So if it is, then definitely get it, and if it's not, then I would definitely recommend investing in it. I'm actually not even sure how much it cost because it was part of the bundle for my program, but I can definitely put in the description the link to this book as well as the cost. I do think that there's actually a newer one out too, but this one is really helpful too. So if you don't want to spend the money for a brand new one, I'm sure this one would work just as well. And that is this NCLEX RN examination book. It has a lot of practice questions. It's by Linda and Silvestri. This is the 7th edition. Again, I think there's at least one newer one, maybe two, I'm not sure. But this book has been so helpful. It covers like practically everything that's important to know, and gives you almost like a Cliff's Notes type of breakdown for like all the important information. And then at the end it has practice questions that are set up like NCLEX questions, and then it also has the answers. So they say that the best way to prepare for the NCLEX is to do practice questions, and this book has, look how big this book is. I mean, it has so many, and each color is a different category. So like there's adult endocrine, peds, maternity, fundamentals, and then NCLEX prep. There's a whole thing about that, and it actually has a lot of test taking strategies as well. A lot of stuff that, like I said, is going to be super helpful for the NCLEX. So this book has been super helpful for me to review some stuff and like get the most important information for each chapter out of it. And it's broken down and a little bit easier to read than like just out of your nursing textbook. So again, I think this might be a little pricey, I'm not sure, but I definitely recommend having this because it will help you and prepare you for answering the questions that are going to be set up like in nursing school as well as on the NCLEX. So this second book was also required by my program. Again, not sure if it's required for all programs, and that is the Davis Drug Guide for Nurses. I don't have a whole lot to say about this other than it has been super helpful when looking up meds, and it gives nursing implications as well as teaching strategies that you need to know as a nurse, adverse effects as well as just side effects. And this book's, in my opinion, pretty easy to read, and it has literally every drug that you can think of. So when you're trying to figure out what something is in clinical or just in class, if you're like, oh shoot, I need like a quick refresher, this book has been so handy. The next item that I have for you guys today is these index cards. However, these are 4 by 6 inches, so they're a little bit bigger than regular index cards. And the reason that I'm recommending these specifically is because of the size. You can fit a lot more information on it. Particularly, I liked using these for pharmacology because you can fit a lot of information on these, like I said. Unfortunately, I don't have any of my pharmacology note cards that I made with me right now, but I can definitely do a video on that if you guys want to see how I utilize these extra big note cards. If using note cards is not really something that you find beneficial, then that's fine too, but I really do recommend using this kind of stuff for pharmacology because it just really helps to reinforce the knowledge and make sure that you're actually understanding, because there's a lot of information that you have to know about all the drugs that's important. So in my opinion, this is the best way to study that material. So I would definitely recommend having some of these note cards, at least note cards, but definitely these big ones because there's so much information to write. Alright, this next thing you'll probably see in every single nursing recommendation video, and that is a whiteboard. So again, I'm not going to talk too much about this because it's in literally every nursing video that you can possibly think of, but this is super beneficial also for pharmacology, and it's nice because you're not actually having to write out note cards, or you can study and then test your knowledge on this, and then it's like you're not wasting paper because you can literally just erase it. I don't even have any colored markers, but that would make it super helpful too. I literally just have the one black marker that it came with. I got this at Target. It was relatively cheap, so you know, this is kind of a big one. I know that they have smaller ones too, but I just think it's a really good way to study. Again, when you enter the nursing program, you're gonna have to figure out study strategies that work for you, whether that's gonna be group studying, individual studying, which is my personal preference. I just feel like I'm learning and I can go at my own pace and, you know, focus on the stuff that I want to focus on rather than having to work with a whole group. But that's just my opinion, and that's just how I learn the best. So once you figure that out, you know, this is fun for group stuff too, because you could turn it into like a game and have, you know, people write their answers or whatever you want to do it, you know, just get really creative and utilize this tool because it can be super, super helpful for studying. Okay, so this next thing is kind of important. I do want to put my 2 cents in on it just because I know that there's differing opinions out there. So this is just my personal opinion. Take that information and do whatever you want with it, but I'm just gonna talk about this for a minute. So the next item that I have is a stethoscope, which as a nursing student is definitely going to be required that you get your own stethoscope, but there are some different kind of brands. This is a Littmann Classic 3, which I'm sure a lot of people recommend, but there also is some really cheap stethoscopes that you can get. I don't even know how much, but I know that they're not nearly as expensive as this brand. But let me just kind of put my 2 cents in as to why I would recommend investing in a nice, like, good stethoscope, because I know a lot of people say that they want to wait till they graduate or like have it as a gift in the future to, you know, reward them for getting through the program. Let me just explain. Okay, so the difference of things you can hear with this stethoscope compared to one of the cheap ones is astounding, to be completely honest, because I have actually compared them both, and that's just my opinion, but I truly think that you can hear things a lot better with this one. So why is that important as having a really good stethoscope as a starting nurse, right? Because you're just starting out. Why do you need something really nice? So when you're learning to recognize heart sounds, bowel sounds, lung sounds, you know, all that kind of stuff, it's very like minuscule things that you want to be able to pick up on. With a cheaper stethoscope, that can be really hard to hear. So for the untrained ear, it makes it 10 times harder. And I think that with having a nice, good stethoscope, it's a lot easier to be able to hear those differences and then be able to recognize them in the future. So again, this is a little bit expensive, I know, but you know, even as maybe for a gift, like before starting nursing school, I would definitely invest in one of these because you can hear things so much better. Following on that stethoscope topic, I would also recommend getting a case. I know that they have like way cuter ones than this one, but this one has a pretty big pocket for just like all of my other stuff in there. My pen light, my watch, I have gloves, scissors, hand sanitizer, like a bunch of other stuff. And then you just put the stethoscope right in here, like that. And then it helps keep your nice stethoscope from getting like beat up and marked on and stuff like that. And you won't lose it either because it's nice in this big case. Okay, so this next item is a pair of shoes that I would recommend for lab and clinical because these shoes are so comfy. I had to get white for my program. These are some Nursemates. I don't know the exact brand. I can look it up and link it below, but these shoes are literally so comfortable. I can wear them all day and they don't hurt my feet. And yeah, these are the white ones. They have a little navy heart right here, which is really cute because my scrubs are navy. I believe they might have had other colors. Again, I'd have to look, but you definitely want to make sure that you have a good, comfortable pair of shoes for clinical. These are also leather material, so like if you get spilled a bodily fluid on them or something, then it comes right off, which is nice because I know like some people get like, you know, nice Nike tennis shoes, but they're not leather like that, so anything that you spill on your shoes will stain it, and you definitely don't want that. So these Nursemate shoes are definitely the pair of shoes I would recommend for clinical. This next item is a really common one in other nursing school videos as well, but I just want to, you know, reinforce that I agree this is super important to have, and it's just like a little tiny pocket notebook. You can get a pack of these for super cheap. at like Meijer or Walmart or any store like that, Target. They probably even have these at the dollar store, I would bet. And they have a lot of different colors. They're just really small lined pieces of paper. It's nice for taking notes and stuff. It fits right into your scrub pocket, which is perfect for clinical when you're going around taking vitals, especially if you have multiple patients or like you're taking vitals and then going and doing some other stuff and you don't have time to chart right away. Because like you might think, oh, I'll just remember that for a minute, but you don't always get to like go sit down and chart right after you take vitals, and you don't want to forget that kind of stuff or have to recheck it or anything like that. So one of these little notebooks just comes in super handy, and again, they come in like a billion in one pack and they're super cheap, so you'll probably only need to buy one pack and then you'll be good to go. Alright, so this next item is something else that is pretty much said in every video, but it is super important, and that is to have a planner. So this planner that I have is actually an Erin Condren planner. You by no means need to get a big expensive planner because these ones are pretty pricey. Any planner from literally any store will do. I do recommend doing this because you have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff to remember, a lot of assignments to get done. So having a place to record all of that kind of stuff is crucial because you don't want to be missing stuff. So, you know, if you're not a planner person, I would definitely recommend becoming one or at least having something to record all of your due dates, and you can plan ahead for tests and know like how much time you have to study. I've always been a really avid planner person, which is why I splurged and got a expensive Erin Condren planner. So like here's what my week looks like right now. I can definitely do a plan with me if you guys are interested in that. I use Planner Kate stickers to decorate my planner, so it makes it a little bit more fun. I recommend doing that also so that it's not like a hassle to fill out your planner. It should actually be something that you look forward to and that you're, you know, excited about keeping it organized. At least that's how I feel about it. It doesn't feel like, you know, a pain to have to go through and like get everything planned out. It actually reduces stress a significant amount. And let me just say, when you're in nursing school, you have a lot of stress. So, you know, being able to control that stress to a certain extent is super helpful for your mental health. Okay, so this next item is definitely not necessary, but is actually a lot of fun and also has some studying properties with it. And so that game is Our Entertainment. So this game was actually a gift that I received, and I wasn't really sure. I'd never heard about it, and it's actually super fun, you guys. So I'm not going to get too into it. I'm just going to explain that you do not need to be in nursing school to play this game. Like if you wanted to play this game with your family or something, I mean, I'm sure that they wouldn't really be interested in doing that, but or if you get a group of friends together from your program or whatever you want to do, this is so fun. It's literally a fun board game, and it has NCLEX type questions in it, and there's like different categories. And anyway, I'm not gonna get too into it, but this is a lot of fun. And you know, if you want to ask for this for a gift or whatever, or get it for yourself, I definitely recommend, because this makes you feel like you're not even studying, and yet it's giving you a lot of important information and asking questions that like you might not have thought about. But then if you go into the NCLEX, you know, you'll have that information from the game. And so yeah, I recommend that game as well. Alright guys, so the last thing that I have for you today is a journal. This is again not necessary, but definitely helpful for your mental health when you're processing, you know, emotions, or you feel like down in the dumps, or you feel happy about something and you want to just, you know, whatever you want to do, you just do that in here. I also have this Erin Condren gratitude journal that I've been not using as much as I would like to, but I do want to get more into that. But a journal of any kind I recommend, just because you're going to be going through a lot of changes in your life through nursing school, and having an outlet for that kind of stuff without feeling like you're burdening people, you know, or having, you know, conversations with people and just knowing that they don't really care what you're talking about, because let's be real, like nobody else knows the struggle that you're going through besides other people in nursing school. And that's okay. So I just personally like to have somewhere where I can get my thoughts out and, you know, talk about my frustrations without feeling like I'm bothering people, and also without feeling like regretful that you had told them something. You know, you can really write whatever you want. You don't have to hold back. And it's just a really creative outlet for that kind of stuff, and as well as exciting stuff, because obviously you want to share that with people in your life, but sometimes you just want to talk a little bit personal, or maybe it's an accomplishment that you don't really feel like sharing, or whatever the reason is. I recommend having one of these, because this is going to be a really tough time in your life, and you really need somewhere to be able to put all of your thoughts. And then the gratitude journal is just a bonus, makes you feel a little bit better too. Alright guys, so that is all that I have for you today. I don't even know how many things that was, but that's some things that I recommend getting before starting nursing school, or shortly into starting the program. I am just about finished with my second semester of nursing school, so I'm definitely going to have some more tip videos for you guys. Tips for studying, tips about passing pharmacology, med-surg, fundamentals, like hauls about what's in my clinical bag and stuff like that. Plan with me if you guys want to see something like that. Hauls, whatever. I have a lot of good ideas planned, so make sure that you guys subscribe and look out for those videos in the future. Alright guys, I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching!